Blessings of life, family. What's going on? What's going on? You already know who it is. It's your boy Dre in full effect, recharging my energy at this beautiful park, Lakeshore Park, Knoxville, Tennessee. You know how I do. I wanted to get on here today. Basically, what I'm going to say is recharging yourself, recharging your energy. Always make sure that you have time, or make time, should I say, to recharge yourself, recharge your energy. Day in and day out, we have to go to work. I know. We had to be slave to a piece of paper, aka fiat currency. But even with all the misfortunes and all the chaos and violence and sodomy and adultery, cheating, killing, rape, murder, just everything known to man that's demonic, and just various demonic people that you meet in this life, we have to recharge our energy. This whole year, 2022, should I say, has been a very, very draining and learning experience. And I know for a fact that I transformed finally into a butterfly. We all as individuals are honestly cocoons. The cocoon represents life. The cocoon of life is what we need to elevate to a higher realm. So as we're in that cocoon, we're building ourselves mentally, spiritually, and physically day in and day out since the time we're born to the day we die. And even though I'm not a full-on butterfly yet because I have broken out of cocoon, I'm still elevating, I'm still growing, and I'm still being a better person for what I am until the day I die. And that's when the process starts all over again. This life, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't really say that it's bad, but I can't really say it's good either. It truly is what you make it, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that we can't control that's out of our power. So when I say it's like out of our power, I'm talking like such as money, certain jobs that we had to take temporarily to make sure that our bills are paid, certain people that we had to interact with, such as family members if we had a family cookout or et cetera, et cetera. But the thing about life, honestly, in my opinion, that makes it beautiful is that when you look at nature like this is my idea of heaven. This is my closest connection to heaven. Being out in nature whenever I can be is honestly the best feeling that I can possibly experience. And that's honestly better than anything in this world. It's better than money. It's better than sex. It's better than weed. It's better than anything you can imagine. And they're doing a lot of construction in the background. I don't know what they're doing to the park. But like, it feels so good. I swear, I love going to the park. Like, I love going to the park. I can almost say, honestly, I love going to the park almost more than recording music in the studio, because recording music in the studio is literally, I can almost say it's either tied or at the same level, or it's somewhat behind it. Because recording music in the studio, because I produce, I write, and I also know how to record myself. I'm a philanthropist. I'm a writer. I write my own books. I have screenplays. Have autobiography. But like, not to get off subject, it's therapy, just like going to the studio. So there's days I have recorded a lot of music, and I was at the park. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous day outside. It was a beautiful experience. But going to the park and recharging myself, it's the best feeling that I can have, I could possibly even reach. That's my euphoric feeling. Going to the park is the best feeling in the world. It started from when I was a kid. My mom used to always take me to the park. She used to always take me to the park. My dad rarely went to the park. It just wasn't his thing. This wasn't his thing, but my mom loved, and still does love, the park. She introduced me to the park. And when I was a kid, and this is Knoxville, Tennessee, when I was a kid visiting New York City, Flushing, Queens, I used to always go to the park with my tia. For those that don't know, tia is Spanish for auntie. I think I did mention this before, that I have Colombian and Puerto Rican and a little bit of Mexican in my family tree on my dad's side. But not to get off subject, my tia used to take me to the park all the time, and my grandmother used to take me to the park. Oh man, I just love, look at this. It reminded me of this swan song that I made. I recorded years back called Fly. It's a beautiful song. It hasn't been released yet. I got to get my laptop fixed. Got a bunch of songs I got to release, and record, but this is, ooh, shoot, that was a bee in my face. This is, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. This is the closest thing to heaven, family. This is the closest thing to heaven. You cannot tell me that when you go to a beautiful park like this, surrounded by beautiful vegetation and water and just the beautiful blue skies, the vivid clouds that's showing so much detail, you can't tell me you don't feel a peace of calmness that's just surrounding you. It's so much solitude that you can just let go. Solitude meaning this, you choose to be alone and choose to be peaceful by yourself. But you can just let that go and just be free with the earth. You can just roam with the earth. You know what I love to do the most? And I haven't done this in a while. I love to walk barefoot on Mother Nature because I'm letting the negative ions from my body, I let that go and I let it get charged up from the positive ions from the earth. I love to do that. I love to have crystals too. Crystals are another representation of good energy. So you can fight off bad energy as well. You know, another crystal that I like to use, there's various ones. It's called Shugnite, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's a beautiful crystal. It's like kind of grayish, darkish. But you know, I love Symbala bracelets. Symbala bracelets are beautiful as well, if you know what those are. I know L.A. Capone used to wear one of those, but bro, just R.I.P. to him. But just everything in this world, even though this is a simulation we're living in, when it's time for me to be out of the simulation, because Lord knows I'm ready to transcend. I'm ready to transcend, man, and fully into the fifth dimension. I've been in the fifth dimension in my mind since 2010 when I was 17. But to fully transcend into the fifth dimension, that's a beautiful thing. But one thing I want to leave before I end this video, I know life is hard at times, and I'll be a candidate for that. All I know was struggle all my life. But I want to say to you that even when you think you're alone, trust me, you ain't alone, man. Sis, you know, you ain't alone. There's always somebody out here that's going through it, that's struggling. You know how many times, and I know there's other people out here, but they won't admit it because they're afraid of what people would think or their egos, or, you know, they got an image to maintain. But that's what this channel is about. It's about being real. It's about being genuine, being loyal, being respectful, being honest to the world, being honest with yourself, being honest to God. But there's a lot of times I know for a fact, and it's not even just, it has nothing to do with depression. It's just this life, when you're not recharging yourself daily, you can feel crushed like a boulder on top of you. And there'll be a lot of times we all do want to die, physically, literally. Because this world is full of hatred, it's full of cold-hearted people. And when you constantly go throughout this rigorous journey that we temporarily call home, because Earth is our temporary home, it does get old, man. It does get old. And I had to remind myself when I recharge myself, recharging yourself isn't just going out into nature like I'm doing right now. Recharging yourself, it goes with everything that you eat. So if you're eating junk food is not good for you. When I say recharge yourself on a positive note, on a healthy note, which consists of your diet, which is your lifestyle, it consists of drinking plenty of water. It consists of getting plenty of sunlight. It consists of getting plenty of rest, surrounding yourself with good people, positive people, God-fearing people. If you surround yourself with negative people, you're going to get negative results. If you surround yourself with darkness and demonic entities, you will have darkness and demonic thoughts. So your diet, which is your lifestyle, is all about recharging yourself day in and day out until Father God calls you back home. And throughout the years, I always noticed that I have to constantly recharge myself like an iPhone battery, like literally. Because it's real draining. Every time I step out my house, it's a new day, a new war. It's like I said in one of my videos, guys, we can all say we're at peace, but nobody's 100% at peace. You know, when you're at peace, you're 100% at peace when you physically die. When you physically leave this earth and you know that you've been good in your heart, you've been good and prayed, you gave back, you repented, you talked to Father God, that's when you can fully be at peace. That's where the term rest in peace comes from, bro. I mean to say, bro, it just came out, you know, rest in peace. You know, hopefully in time when I do transcend, I get to see some family members again. I get to see some of my friends that died. You know, I think about them from time to time, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I do be wishing I could have conversations with them. Just calling them on the phone, just like, yo, let me holler at you real quick, man. I gotta tell you about so and so, woo 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 woo, or call one of my favorite aunties up. I wish, God knows, I wish I can call them up. Sometimes it does hurt, and I try not to let that get to me because I know they're in a better place. They don't have to deal with all this drama anymore. They don't have to deal with this chaotic craziness in this world, man. They at peace, literally. They at peace. They are at peace, should I say. I went to school. I'm talking like I'm crazy. But I just wanted to say, family, just recharging yourself is a beautiful thing. Don't ever neglect that. Always make time to recharge. If you can make time to go to work, you can make time to recharge yourself. If you can make time to hang out with that girl or hang out with that guy or go on a date, whatever you're doing with your friends, you can make time to recharge yourself. Look at this. You can't tell me that's not beautiful. You can't tell me that. That's one thing I'm gonna tell you guys. Like, as much as I love New York, and I have bits of my childhood in New York, I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. I grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. And one thing I can say that's positive about Knoxville, Tennessee, even though it's turned into a mini Memphis right now, believe it or not, we got all these thugs and fake gangbangers and all this other craziness moving here, but this city has the most beautiful parks in the world, in my opinion. I've been to quite a few parks. Knoxville, Tennessee has some beautiful, beautiful parks. Look at this. One of my favorite areas, I have a little patio up there. It's a beautiful place, man. I'm gonna look back at these videos as I've been doing for the past like 12 years, other videos that I've done, and I'm gonna look back at these like, wow, man, look at me. You know what I mean? Like, I was really doing this. But you know, I'm always give a shout out to Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm always give a shout out to Flushing, Queens, New York. I gotta give a shout out to the 865. I gotta give a shout out to the 718, the 347. You know what I'm saying? I got to. It's only right. New York. One thing I love about New York gave me my start in hip hop. And New York gave me a lot of game too, believe it or not just the South. So it's like I got the best of both worlds. Or should I say I have the best of both worlds. I got the Southern traits and I got the Northern traits in me. Plus my mom is from Detroit. My dad is from Southside Jamaica, Queens, and he's also from Flushing, Queens too. So my mom is from the Midwest. I don't know if anybody knew that, but guys, I just want to say that I love you guys. It's always, and I mean always, peace, love, light, and eternal blessings. Whatever you're going through in this world, I pray, and I really mean pray, and I'm sending energy, positive energy your way that you get through it. I know that you're probably going through something right now, and I may not know you, you may not know me, but I love you as a Christian. I love you as a person. If you found this video and watched it to this length, you obviously care about yourself. You care about your well-being. You care about recharging your whole demeanor, your whole body, your whole just overall aura. That's what this life is about. We got to recharge ourselves until we can get called back home. And I'm going to say this too, because I've been seeing this a lot. If you feel like canceling yourself, I'm going to just say canceling yourself, because, YouTube is strict. Just any social media platform for the most part. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my gosh, he's such a bad person because he canceled himself. We got to be realistic, man. I've been wanting to talk about this too. Canceling yourself, man, of course, in society is looked at as a very negative thing. And I do not condone it. I just don't condone that. But at the same time, I do understand why people cancel themselves. Because sometimes it's too much for people. And we can't always look at it from a selfish point of view when a person cancels themselves, because we always say, well, if you do that, then you're not going to be able to talk to this person. You used to talk it out. Some people they're just tired of talking it out. They just want to just be at peace. But I'm going to leave that at that. And I may do another video on that. I may not. But some people if they feel like they just want to give up, you can't force anybody to do what they want to do. Yeah, you can talk to them. But you got to remember too, family, you can't help a person out that doesn't want to be helped. This is real. But if that person already has their mind made up, you can't change that person's mind. And we all know that when a person has their mind made up, this is what it is. You can try to influence a person, but, the decision is already made. But I pray and I walk with a person, including myself, that I can continue just to be around positive energy and recharge myself. Because most of the time when a person cancels themselves, let's just be honest. I've been there, you've been there. They're depressed. They're lonely. They're anxious. They're sad. Somewhat lost. They wish they had somebody to give them a hug. Somebody just to say thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon. I appreciate you as a person. I love you as a person. You got to remember, when a person cancels themselves, they're not just doing it just to be doing it. There's a lot of variations that go on to that person's decisions. It's really, sometimes it's sad, man, because there's some people in this world, I never knew anybody personally that canceled themselves, but if that person would have had a hug, if that person would have had some actual, real, genuine love, whoever he or she may be, he or she may honestly still be alive today. And that's one thing that we don't talk about. We don't talk about a lot of self-awareness. We don't talk about a lot of self-love. This world is just so cold, man. It's just so fake. So fake, so cold, so chaotic, full of NPCs. NPCs being non-playable characters. You heard what I said in my last video. Somebody was getting to disagree with him, and he was basically a coward and said it in so many ways he wanted to pull a gun on me. He don't fight fair. Because I remember telling him, I was like, I don't like guns and I don't condone using guns. I put my fists up. But he's the type of person that, in my opinion, and I don't wish death on nobody, but people like that don't need to exist. If you're here just to cause chaos and pull guns on people, you can't fight, and you're just a negative influence to this world, you don't need to be here. I'm saying it. Because the world is already messed up for what it is. We don't need anybody else getting killed because you can't put your hands up, because you want to pull a gun on somebody, because you want to sell drugs to the community, because you want to have multiple kids by different baby mamas, and you don't even want to take care of them. You let the child support just stack up, and who's paying for that? We are. But it's not even about the money. It's just you're not being a father to your kids. And that also goes into variation of recharging yourself, because I want to say this too. If more people took the time to actually get to know the person instead of having sex, you'll be surprised how many people would not be born right now, because that would eliminate a lot of poverty. It would eliminate a lot of people going to jail because they didn't have a father, or their mother was selling drugs, or the mother was a crack whore, whatever the situation or variation may be. It would eliminate a lot of situations that could have been prevented, literally. And you wonder why we just have so much trouble in this world. I mean, I could keep going, but I see this video is almost 20 minutes, 17 minutes and 54 seconds. Like I'm counting down. But it's nothing but love, family. It's nothing but love. I love you guys. I want you guys to continue to prosper. I want you guys to continue to shine. I want you guys to get that light. Let it shine on you. Always wear white, at least somewhat white. Light is beautiful. Light is effervescent. Light is purity. Darkness is negative. Darkness, demonic. Darkness is chaotic. But most importantly, darkness keeps you lost. Because when you're dark, filled with darkness, around darkness, various people, whatever the situation may be, you will get lost. And don't even lie to yourself and say, I don't need God, or what. Everybody needs God. I be seeing a lot of YouTube channels talking about God and disrespecting God, and I get where they were coming from, but at the same time, I want to say something to them, but of course they're just going to delete the YouTube comments, but sometimes I still put it out there anyway. I don't care. You're letting the devil fool you. Everybody knows right now, well, you would think everybody knows that his time is almost up. So this is why he's doing what he's doing. And sometimes I do ask myself, why does God let this happen? There's a lot of questions I may ask God personally, but I pray about it and I talk to God, and God does answer back. He will talk to you if he feels like you're genuine, if he feels like you're sincere. It may not be now, it may not be tomorrow, but he will answer back. Just like I had that vision back in June of 2022 this year. A lot of people going to hell because they're going to take the mark of the beast. God does speak to you. And I pray that Father God may forgive me for all my sins that I commit in the future, whatever I have to do to survive. You know, you got to do what you got to do to live sometimes, but I'm not saying that just to say that, put that energy out there, but just be safe in this world. This world is full of chaotic stuff. It's full of traps. And one thing I'm going to say, this, I know I keep saying one last time, always keep yourself grounded. Always keep yourself grounded with morals. Always stay true to yourself. Always have integrity. Always stick to your morals. Always do good by people. Don't lie to people. Don't steal from people. Be another light to this person. Be another entity of positivity to this person. We don't need any more basketball players. We don't need any more NBA players or that same thing at basketball players. We don't need any more coaches. We don't need any more rappers. We don't need any of that. We need more thinkers. We need more scientists. We need more people to help cure cancers or diseases. I mean, there's already a cure for that because the medical center just doesn't want to lose money. That's why they haven't released it. That's a whole nother story. But we basically need more philosophers. We need more teachers, and not just teachers in a typical, let's go to a building and stay for 8. I'm talking about teachers of the world, teachers of the universe, because remember, it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to raise an adult, because even as an adult, you're still learning. And I remember telling that to that wannabe thug from Chicago about almost a month ago now. It was about 3 weeks and some change. You don't stop learning until you die. A person that says that they know everything or they try to overtalk you, that's hard-headed and doesn't listen, is a fool. And you do not argue with a fool. You want to walk away from a fool. Even if they try to argue with you, that's what I was doing, I walk away. I don't argue with a fool. Because once a person's mind, like I said with that cancer, once a person's mind is made up, you can't change it. You can try. It ain't going to change. But it's your boy, David DeAndre, a.k.a. Dre, in full effect. I love you guys. Peace and light, man. This is what I got on today, man. I just got on basic white tee, trying to fix my shoulder because, with this camera. Just some basic jeans. I got the green belt and some Nike, the Nike Roche. Little crisp 70-degree weather today. About to give me a little drink. Not no alcohol. I don't drink. I don't do none of that. I don't do that. I drink juice and water and smoothies. It's rare. Bro, let me tell you this real quick. It's extremely rare for me to drink an alcoholic beverage. I don't even like alcohol. It just tastes weird. Rum and Coke is cool, but at the same, like I said, I don't like alcohol. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that weird stuff. People, let me say this one last thing too. I'd have told a few people throughout the years that they think being a Christian is boring. Bro, I've been around so many people that pop pills and smoking weed and drinking and all this stuff. There ain't nothing cool about that. There ain't nothing cool about being passed out and forward, throwing up, being high as a kite. You can barely even move. There ain't nothing cool about that. Being cool, in my opinion, playing board games, man, recharging yourself in nature, being with your true friends who are family to you, living your best life, being true to yourself, being true to God. That's what having fun is to me. I'm gonna say this too. If you have certain people in your group or even at your job that's popping pills or doing all that crazy stuff, you need to cut them off, because if you don't cut them off, they're gonna lead your downfall. And you don't want your downfall to keep going down and down, and that's basically a game over. You don't want a game over in this world. You remember I said that in one of the Thoughts Off the Minds. I think it was part 5, was it? All right, family. I'm not going to talk your head off anymore. Recharge yourself. Make sure you do that. At least 7 days a week. 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Recharge yourself. I urge you, I want you, please recharge yourself. Talk to Father God Almighty and ask for clarity. God will lead you to certain people, certain places. Certain people in certain places will come to you. Certain visions will come to you. I urge you. Recharge yourself. Peace and light.